Hello, beautiful learners. Hope you're doing great. I am also good by the grace of Almighty. So it's our day 43, and in this lesson we are going to practice as listening practice test with answers and proper explanations for achieving band 9. So before going to start our class, I just need to check whether you can hear me as well as the audio track. Okay, just give me a few seconds to check out the sound quality. Hello, beautiful learners. Hopefully you're doing great, and I'm also good by the grace of Almighty. So it's our day 43, and in this lesson we are going to practice IELTS listening practice test with answers and proper explanation for achieving band 9. So before going to start our class, I just need to check whether you can hear me or not. Then I will start it. Okay.
Section 1. You will hear a new student, Tom, talking to a student representative called Rachel about university clubs. You now have 30 seconds to read questions 1 to 4.
Okay, I'm quite confident that you are hearing me as well as the audio track. So it's time to start our class. Okay, let's listen the instruction from him as the man was talking. Okay, let's listen it from the first.
Section 1. You will hear a new student, Tom, talking to a student representative called Rachel about university clubs. You now have 30 seconds to read questions 1 to 4.
Oh, hi.
Okay, I hope you got the instruction from him. Now let's read the first visible instruction. As we can see, it's on the screen. Okay, so let's read it. No more than 3 words and or a number for each answer. Okay, just keep it in your mind. Now here we can see, okay, 4 column and a lot of rows. Okay, so in the first column we can see university clubs, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, so now we are going to listen it for question number 1, extra activities, extra activities, let me highlight it, on Tuesday. Okay, let's listen it.
Representative called Rachel at 1 to 4.
Yes, I'm Rachel. Hi, welcome to Freshers Week. I'm Rachel. Can I help you?
Oh, hi. Yes, I was hoping to find out about some clubs I could join.
Well, all the club stands are here in this hall. What were you interested in?
Not sure. I wanted to do something where I could meet people.
Well, take this leaflet with details of all the clubs and see what you think.
Oh,
It'll probably depend on what day you're free. Like on Mondays, there's the film club. Then on Tuesdays, you've got the climbing club. That's really good. I'm in that. Then on Wednesdays, you've got chess, if you want something a bit more intellectual. But you should look through carefully because all the clubs run extra activities as well as their normal meetings.
oh yes, I see. So it looks like the film club has discussions after the films. I'd quite like to go to those. Then climbing. Goodness. It says here that the university has its own climbing wall. That's impressive. And they go on weekend trips. Cool. And it says...
So the man was saying, then climbing, goodness, it says here that the university has its own climbing wall. That's impressive, and they go on weekend trip. So here we can write, okay, weekend trip. Let me put it. Trip. Trips. Okay. Now let's listen for question number 2. Okay. For Wednesday. Okay, let's listen it.
There's the chess club, normally just does games with whoever turns up, but it also runs competitions sometimes. But
okay, so it, as you're saying, it also runs competitions sometimes. So competitions would be the answer. Let me put it. Competitions. Okay. Now let's listen it for question number 3. Current number of members. Okay, let's listen it for question number 3.
I bet you've got to be pretty good to do that.
Yes, I think so.
And how many people are in the clubs? Are they all really full?
Well, obviously they're all different. So, for example, the film club has just increased its membership from 85 to 125. But
so the lady was saying the film club has just increased its membership from 85 to 125. So now it's 125. So I need to put it. Okay. Now let's listen it for question number 4. Where is 4? Okay, got it. Contact. Okay, let me highlight it. Okay, now we are going to listen it for Tuesday. Okay, let's listen it.
But I think they're hoping to extend it to 150. The climbing club's quite small, 40 people. And the chess club is fairly healthy at 55.
Right. Okay. So who do I see if I want to join these clubs?
Well, if you go round the stands and speak to the people there, for the film club, that's the events organiser. For climbing, you'll need the club secretary.
For climbing, you need two, club secretary. So club secretary would be the answer. Let me put it. Secretary would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 5. Okay, before that we have another instruction to follow. Okay, no more than 3 words for each answer. Okay, just keep it in mind. Now here you can see details of climbing club. Okay, meets blah blah. Let's play the audio and let's listen it.
I'll have 30 seconds to read questions 5 to 10.
That they get together twice a month. Is that right?
Yes. Oh, you must join. It's really good fun. We go away quite...
So the man was asking, it says there, it says that leaflet that they get together twice a month. So twice a month would be the answer. Okay, let me put it. TWICE, twice a month, TH month. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 6. Okay, excursion to friends in the blah blah. Let's listen it.
quite a bit to North Wales, and every year we have a special excursion, usually to France, which is where we're going this year in the spring. The weather's too unpredictable in the autumn.
Wow.
Okay, so she was saying we have special excursion usually to France, which is where we are going to this year in the spring. So spring or dance, let me put it spring. Now let's listen it for question number 7. Okay, subscription paid, blah blah. Let's listen it.
Wow, that sounds good. But it must cost a lot.
Yeah, but we try and save up for it through subscriptions. So rather than having a huge sum to pay in the month we go, we collect those weekly, so it spreads it out.
Good idea.
So subscription paid weekly. Let me put it weekly, cause the lady was saying we collect this weekly to weekly, so it spreads it out. Okay, so weekly will be the answer, and that's what I already put it. Okay, put in the blank. Now let's listen it for question number 8. Okay, discounts on blah blah. Let's listen.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely join.
There are quite good benefits you get from joining. I mean, you need that, don't you? And the university clubs normally try and do deals with local businesses, so it's really worth joining. Like in the climbing club, they've got a special arrangement with one of the shops in town. So if you show your card, you can get money off equipment. Don't think...
So the lady was saying if you show your card, you can get money off equipment. Money off means I mean it's a discount on equipment. Okay, let me put it equipment. Okay, QIP equipment. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 9. Annual blah blah. Let's listen it.
I think the discount extends to clothes though.
That's really worth it then. I'll go over and talk to them now.
Okay, hope you do join. Oh, and another thing I meant to say. If you do become a member, you automatically receive a magazine once a year. It's quite useful.
Okay, magazine would be done, so let me put it. ZINE, magazine. Cause the lady was saying if you do become a member, you automatically receive a magazine once a year. So once a year means you receive a magazine yearly, and yearly and annually are the same word. Okay, don't be confused. Now let's listen it for question 10. From entrance to climbing blah blah in Cardiff. Okay, let me hide it and let's listen it.
Useful and interesting because it goes out to all the national climbing clubs. And the other thing is, if you come to every session, then you can get a complimentary ticket to the big exhibition that's held in Cardiff every year. So,
and free entrance to climbing exhibition. Let me put it. Exhibition. Cause the letter saying if you come to every session, then you can get a complimentary ticket to the big exhibition that's held in Cardiff every year. So that's all about our part 1. Now we are going to practice with okay, part 2. And okay, and write correct letter add to the next two question 11 to 15. Okay, here we can set list of features. Okay, cleaning included, all meals included, private showers at modern building, parking spaces, single, okay, and sports facilities. now we are going to listen it for question number 11 to 15. Okay, let's listen it and let's play the audio.
Students about different halls of residence. You now have 30 seconds to read questions 11 to 15.
Stanton University. I'm here to tell you about the various halls of residence we have available should you choose to come here. We aim to offer accommodation in halls to all first-year students, and you'll find there's a good variety to choose from. First of all, there's Brown Hall, which, as you'll see, is not the most modern of buildings, but it is very popular with some students. It's got a good sense of community, some nice refurbished kitchens, and unlike the other halls, it has recently had a gym built in its basement.
So, sport facility. Okay, as the lady was saying, unlike the other halls, it has recently had a gym built in basement. Okay, so here we can cleaning included. Okay, private building parking. Okay, I think we should select option G because it's like as she was saying, unlike the other halls, it has recently had a gym built in the basement. Okay, so gym built is likely close to sport facilities. Okay, let me choose option C. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 12, block residence. Okay, let me highlight it and let's listen it.
Another option is Blake Residence, which is built like a large house, and so everybody cooks and eats together. It has its own sectioned off bit of private garden and is even more peaceful because this is an all-girls residence. Although, of course, boys...
So this is all, as she was saying, even more peaceful because this is an all-girls residence. So that means it would be option F because it's a... Okay, let me choose F. Okay, let's listen it for question number 13, Queen's Building. Okay, let me highlight it.
Boys are allowed to visit the hall and, I understand, frequently take part in cooking dinner. The largest hall we have is Queen's Building, and this has been upgraded recently. The original parking area has been built on so that the hall now has a large common room, and each bedroom now has its own shower room, which many students regard as a real bonus. A further...
Okay, so I think option private shower would be the answer. Let me select it. Option C would be the answer. As she was saying, each bedroom now has its own shower room, which many students regard as a real bonus. Okay, so let's listen for question number 14, Parkway Flats. Let me play it and let's listen it.
Another option is the Parkway Flats, which won an award for design in its day. And this building now has a preservation order on it. This has meant that only a limited amount could be done to upgrade it, and the surrounding area is important, so parking is not permitted around the flats. However, the flats do have many extra facilities, such as a special computer room, a small library, and a self-service restaurant. The cost of breakfast, lunch, and dinner is covered in the fees for this hall, so it does look a bit more expensive. The last...
Okay, so I think option okay B would be the answer, all males included. Okay, let me put here option B, because she was saying, however, the flats do have many extra facilities such as special computer room and small library and small service restaurant. The cost of breakfast, lunch, dinner is covered in the fees. Okay, that's why option B would be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 15. Temple Rise. Let's listen it.
Residence we can offer you is Temple Rise, which again is slightly more expensive than other halls as the rooms are larger. This has got very lovely views across to the coast, and this more than compensates for the fact that bathrooms here are shared between 6 students. However, the hall has domestic staff who clean the rooms once a week, so this is perhaps an attractive option for the messier amongst you.
Okay, so option A would be the answer, cleaning included. Let me put A here, because she was saying, however, the hall has domestic staff who clean the rooms once a week, so this is perhaps an attractive option for the miser amongst you. Okay, now we are going to listen it for question number 16 to 12. So now we can see here's another label, a map. Okay, label the map below, write the correct letter A to G next to question number 16 to 20. So here we can see it's a main entrance here. Okay, and here we can see, okay, it's theater and it's a library, maybe cannot read it properly, and here it's maybe sports center. Okay, now here it's two main building. Okay, it's two main building. Now let's listen it for question number 16 to 20. Okay, here let's listen it for the question number 16 first. Okay, brown hall, let me highlight it. Why is brown hall? Let's find out it. Okay, brown hall, let's listen it.
To read questions 16 to 20.
Show on this wall map here where they all are. You might like to go and have a look round. If you come into the main university entrance, at the first junction, you'll find that Brown Hall is on the corner opposite the theater.
Corner, as she was saying, you will find the Brown Hall is on the corner opposite the theater. Okay, opposite the theater. So here is a theater, so B would be the answer. Okay, it's really easy to answer. Let me select it. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 17. Okay, blockhead residence, block residence. Let's listen it for block residence.
So you're nice and near the station here, though I think it can get a bit noisy with traffic. The same applies to Blake Residence, which is directly facing the junction to the university entrance. These halls are often
junction to directly university entrance. Okay, university entrance. Okay, as she was saying, you will the same applies to block residence which is directly facing the junction to the university entrance. So okay, so directly facing this one to university. Okay, so this one is directly facing to university. Okay, so option A would be the answer. Let me put it on the blank. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 18. Queens are building. Let me put it, highlight it. Okay, let's listen it.
Often used by medical students and such like, as they're out all day, so don't notice the noise. Anyway, if you then walk along Campus Road towards the main circle, you'll see the library on the corner, and Queen's Building is just past that as you head north. You will find that it is...
Okay, so she was saying, anyway, if you then walk along Campus Road, so this is the Campus Road, along Campus Road, the main circle, you will see the library on the corner. So library is here on the corner, and she was saying on the and Queen Building is just first that you had not. So option C would be the answer. Okay, so this is as she was saying, Queen's Building is just first that, so it's passing this one, library passing this one, as we had not, so we had not here. Okay, we are heading to north, so C would be the answer. Okay, let me choose it. Now let's listen it for question number 19. Okay, what is we have in question number 19? Parkway Flats. Let's listen it.
quieter here, and you may get fewer visitors. By the way, the circle is quite a feature of the campus, as it's set into the hills and has a brand new sports center in the middle. It's worth going to look around it. Now, the Parkway Flats are on the opposite corner to the library, facing the circle, as you head towards the main buildings. The main building...
I hope you got it easy, because it's will be option F. Let me choose it. It's really easy to get the answer, as she was saying. Now, Parkway Flats are on the opposite corner to the library. So here it's library, opposite corner of this one is okay, F option we can see. And she was saying the library facing the circle, so this one is facing the circle, to the library, facing the circle as you head towards the main building. So it's facing main building. Okay, so here's main building, so option F would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 20. Temple Rise. Okay, let's listen it.
Are only about a 5-minute walk from here, and places in these halls go quickly, so my advice is to reserve your place as soon as possible. Then Temple Rise is inside the circle, next to the sports center, but further from the main university buildings. Now, if you'd
Okay, so she's saying Temple Rise is inside the circle, next to the sports center, so here is sports center. And she was saying, but further from the main university building. So it would be option D, because it's further from the main university building. Okay, and she was saying it's close to sports center. Okay, so option D would be the answer. Okay, now let me select option D here. Okay, we are done with part 2. Now we are going to listen it for part 3. So before going to part 3, we have another instruction to follow. Let's read it. Okay, write no more than 3 words or a number for each answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 21 and highlight keyword for this question. Okay, Jenna and Marco must complete their project by a date. Okay, let's listen it.
21 to 24.
To get on and sort out this project for Professor Buckley.
Hang on. I want to make sure we've got all the information. Now, where are we?
Well, today we need to sort out exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to divide the work up.
Okay. How long have we got, by the way?
The end of term is April 6th, and he said to hand it in on week 8, so that's March 25th at the latest.
So that's March 25th would be the answer. Okay, let me put it. March 25th would be the answer. Okay, I hope you got it. Now let's listen it for question number 22. The project will be study of the increase in blah blah. Let's listen it.
Because the beginning of that week is the 21st, so not long.
Right. Have you got the notes there?
Yes. He wants us to do a fairly small-scale study, like the last one, on whether or not businesses were offering more benefits to staff. And we've now got to look at the rise in older workers. It should be fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, so older workers will be the answer. Let me put it. Older workers. KERS. As she was saying, he wants us to do a fairly small scale study like the last one on whether or not business were offering more benefits to staff. We have now got to look at the rise in the rise and increase are the same synonym of each other. Okay, don't be confused. At the rise in older workers, so at the rise in the old workers and increase in old workers are the same thing. Okay, don't be confused. I hope you got it now. It's really more clear to you, I hope. Okay, now let's listen for question number 23. The project will be assessed by whom? Let's listen it.
As long as we keep it small. Who's marking it?
I don't know. Sometimes he gets the PhD students to mark it for him.
Oh, actually, it just says here a senior lecturer. I suppose it's too much for Professor Barclay to do them all.
Yeah.
So senior lecturer would be the answer. Let me put it. Okay, senior lecturer. Senior lecture. Okay, would be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 24. Gina and Marco agree they need a blah blah for the project. Okay, let's listen it.
Anyway, how are we going to go about this?
Well, we have to decide how big we want it to be and who.
Yeah, but I think we must sort out a timetable for the project. Otherwise, nothing will get done.
Okay.
So timetable would be the answer. Let me put it. As she was saying, I think we must sort out a timetable for the project. Otherwise, nothing will get done. And the man was saying, okay, would you want to do that? Okay, so let's listen it for question number 25 to 27. Okay, here's we can see choose 3 letters A to G. Write 3 things do Marco and Jenna have to do now for the project. 3 things have to do now for the project. Both of them. Let's listen it.
Do you want to do that?
All right. I'll do it as soon as we finish here.
You now have 15 seconds to read questions 25 to 27.
What do we have to do now for the project? What's the best way to go about it?
Well, Professor Carter suggested we set up a focus group to get some in-depth interviews, but I think that'll take a lot of time.
Yeah, I agree. If we did a focus group, we'd have...
So the man was saying Professor Carter suggests we set up a focus group to get some in-depth interviews. So I think option interview some people, hand out questionnaires and choose their subject and take photographs. I think as she was the man was saying, Professor Charter suggests we set up a focus group to get some depth interviews. Okay, so hand out questionnaires would be the answer. Okay, don't be confused with this one, because here it says, okay, sorry, it says interview some people. It not the answer. Hand out questions, and as she was saying, focus on group to get some in-depth interviews. Okay, so that's why option B would be the answer. Now let's listen for the remaining twos.
have to spend time deciding who to include in it, and it's not necessary to do one anyway.
Oh, fine.
And if you agree, I think we should get in touch with the businesses on the list Professor Carter gave us and ask them if they're prepared to participate.
Okay, so she was saying I think we should get in touch with the business on the list Professor Charters gives us and ask them if they are prepared to participants. Okay, so choose your subject. Okay, I think we should get in touch with businesses on the list of Professor Charters gave us and ask them if they are prepared to participate. Okay. Take photographs, use separate, do some work in the library, not it. Contact some local companies. Okay, I think this one is close to this one, because as she was saying, ask them if they are prepared to participate. Okay, now let's listen for the remaining one. Okay,
Sounds good. Then we can go there, give them questionnaires and collect them later.
Exactly.
Okay. Then do we need to...
Okay, I got it. As the man was saying, sounds good. Then we can go there and give them questionnaires and collect them later. Okay, so it would be option C. Okay, let's listen it.
book one of those study rooms in the library so we can work together to input the data? Perhaps not, as I guess just one of us could just sort it out actually.
Yes, that would be easier. A lot of what we're doing is qualitative, so it'll be writing up rather than statistics. No software for that, I'm afraid.
And I think it would look better if we had actual shots of some of the staff, because we're citing appearance as a factor in employability, aren't we?
Yeah, okay. I'll factor that all in when I sort everything out tonight.
You now have 30.
Okay, as the man was saying, I think the man was saying, I think would look better if we had actual shots of some of the stuff. So shots of some of the stuffs, it's close to take photos. Okay, option D would be the answer. Let me choose it. Okay, I hope you got all of these three answers. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 28 to 30. Okay, let's read the question. Why did Jenna and Marco agree to work together? Why agree to work together? Okay, let's listen it.
30 seconds to read questions 28 to 30.
Oops, we are out of time. Let me restart the exam again. Okay, now
All in when I sort.
now we are going to listen it for question number 28. Why agree, both of them are agree to work together? Okay, let me highlight it and let's listen it.
All in when I sort everything out tonight.
You now have 30 seconds to read questions.
We decided to work together. I think it's going to work out well.
Yes, well, given that we had to work in pairs on this project, I think we were right to choose each other. We complement each other academically, as we're each good at what the other isn't.
Okay, so she was saying we complement each other academic, as we are each good at what other is not. So option here, because they both wanted to work with no, it's not the answer, because they each have different skills. I think it's close to. Okay, let's read the next one. Because they have worked together before. No, I hope I'm quite confident that option B would be the answer. As she was saying, we complement each other academically, as we each are good of what the other is not. So we each are good, so that means because they each have a good different skills. Okay, as the lady was saying, explaining. Now let's listen it for question 29. Why does Marcos suggest that he writes the analysis? Okay, why suggest he writes the analysis? Let's listen it.
In fact, we should have tried working together before.
Yes. Now, how shall we split the work? I'll do the analysis, shall I?
Oh, okay.
It's just that it might be faster, because I'm used to doing it. Although your English is better than mine.
Okay, so he was saying, the man was saying, how shall we split the work? I will do the analysis, shall I? And the lady was saying, okay. And the man was replying that it just that it might be faster because I'm used to doing it. Okay, I'm used to doing it, although your English is better than mine. So okay, let's read the option and select them. Okay, he need more practice with the kind of writing. Okay, I don't think it's not the answer. He's better at English than Jenna. No, it's not the answer. He has more experience of this than Jenna. Okay, I think option C would be the answer. As he was saying, I'm used to doing it. That means he has his experience in this getting this than Jenna. Okay, that's why option C would be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 30. Why does Jenna offer to do the presentations? Why offer to do presentation? Let's listen it.
I need more practice at reading, really.
Okay, I'll do the presentation then, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure. I don't mind speaking in public, but I hate preparing all the notes for them.
The thing is, the tutor said one person should do the whole presentation, and he said he expects me to do it because I haven't done one yet.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so she was saying, the man was saying, I will do the presentation then if they're okay with you, and the lady was saying, I need the man was saying, I need more presentation, I need more practice at reading, really. And the lady was saying, okay, I will do the presentation then if that's okay with you. Okay, so that means the lady is going to take the presentation, and the man was saying, yeah, sure, I don't mind speaking in the public, but I hate preparing all the notes for them. And the lady was saying, the thing is, the tutor said one person should do one presentation, and he said he expected me to do it because I haven't done one yet. That means the girl never take part, never didn't take part in any presentation. Okay, so let's read the option. Okay, her tutor wants her to do the presentation. Okay, we can say it's 50-50, close to as you're saying. Okay, Marco is very nervous about going to presentation. Okay, it also 50-50. Okay, both are correct. Okay, she wants to divide the work on the no, it's not the answer, but I think it's more accurate, as she was saying, my tutor wants to do that because I have never done one yet. So that means option A would be the answer. Okay, so that's all about part 3. Now we are going to practice it with part 4. Okay, of which US news source is each of the following statement true? Okay, which US news source is each of the following statement true? Okay, now okay, write correct letter A, B or C next to question number 31 to 35. Okay, news sources. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 31 first. Okay, it is more popular at the weekend than during the week. Which one? Let's listen it.
About news sources. You now have 30 seconds to read questions.
Newspapers, as people increasingly access the TV and the internet for their news. Today, I want to look at the USA, which has very advanced news sources, to see if this is actually true. In the USA, the main news sources, without doubt, are TV, the internet, and the press. That is, traditional newspapers. And although they are each surviving and growing, they are also changing. Obviously, TV news has been around for a while, and the early evening bulletins when people get in from work are very popular. I suppose we traditionally think of the morning newspaper arriving on our doorstep with the daily news. Interestingly, this is not borne out by the statistics, which show that readership in the U.S. is much higher when people have time to relax, when they're not working, especially on Sundays. The internet is...
Okay, so option C would be the answer. Let me put it. Okay, let me explain to you. As she was saying, suppose we traditionally think of a morning newspaper arriving on our doorstep with the daily news. Interestingly, this is not borne out by the statistics, which show that leadership in the US is much higher when people have time to relax, when they are not working, especially on weekends. So the press would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 32. Okay, it has, so don't be confused, because this press means it's a newspaper. Okay, as she was talking about, people have time to relax when they are not working, especially on Sunday. Okay, weekends. Now, okay, let's listen it for question number 32. It has affected the popularity of local radio. Which one? Let's listen.
Also a popular weekend activity, but shows no variation with weekday access. So people are using the different sources in different ways. Interestingly, local radio has been hit less by the grip of quite strong local newspapers than by the internet, which is seen to offer a better regional service. But just because
so by the internet, so we can say internet is an option. Well, let me choose it. Okay, let me explain it to you. As she was saying, interestingly, local radio has been hit less by the grip of quite strong local newspaper than by the internet. So internet will be the answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 33. Okay, it has recently been able to expand internationally. Which one? Let's listen it.
internet is seen as the new force in news media does not mean it is dominant. Television has, of course, been global for a while. But now technological changes, which have fueled the rise of online news, have also allowed newspapers to print and distribute editions across the world. In fact,
okay, so she was saying television has, of course, been global for a while, but now technology changes which have fueled the rise of online news have all newspapers to print and distribute editions across the world. So newspaper again, so option C would be the answer. Okay, the press, let me choose it. Now let's listen it for question number 34. It is offering more varied reporting than previously. Which one? Let's listen it.
fact, internet news, which is seen as the big competitor for traditional markets, does not offer that much variety. Often, the sources are the online versions of the newspapers, whereas television, in order to offer something different, has had to come up with a much more mixed bag of reporting, from hard news to light reports on celebrity events.
Okay, so she was saying often the source are the online version of the newspapers, Whereas television, in order to offer something different, has had to come up with much more mixed bag of reporting, from the hard news to light report on celebrity events. So television would be the answer. Okay, let me put it. Now let's listen it for question number 35. It has suffered from government intervention. Let me highlight it and let's listen it.
Another issue is reliability. The internet is virtually unregulated, so anything can be reported there, whether true or not. Journalists on newspapers have fought a long, hard battle to fight intervention and to retain the freedom of the press. Television, however, is seen as critical to political power and has become subject to harsh controls about what it can or cannot say.
So again, it would be option A, television. Okay, let me put it as she was saying. Television, however, is seen as critical to political power and has become subject to harsh controls about what is can or cannot say. Okay, I hope you got it. Now let's listen it for question number 36 to 40 and let's read here. You can see, complete the summary below. Write no more than 2 words for each answer. Just keep it in your mind. Advertising and newspapers. Okay, here we can see in the US, newspapers are being increasingly inventive about the way they attract advertisers and the way they attract the advertiser and their blah blah. Let's listen it.
You now have 30 seconds to read questions 36 to 40.
One very critical factor in keeping newspapers alive and well in the USA has been their approach to advertising. Obviously, newspapers are heavily dependent on advertising revenue, and they have become more and more imaginative in what they offer, in order to make sure that advertisers use them and not other news sources. This has meant that, contrary to popular belief, newspapers now have a significantly higher profit margin than the rest of American industry.
So she's saying this meant that contrary to popular belief, newspapers now have a significant higher profit margin. So profit margin would be the answer. Let me put it. Profit margin. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 37. Because of a good relationship with the blah blah sector. Let's listen it.
So, how have they managed to raise advertising revenue in this way? Well, they have put a lot of effort into developing and maintaining a very strong association with the retail trade.
With the retail trade. So retail would be the answer. T-A-I-L, retail. Let me explain to you. As she was saying, well, they put a lot of effort into developing and maintaining a very strong association. So association and a relationship would be the same here, or is using same purpose. Okay, so association with the retail trade. So retail would be the answer. Trade means sector. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 38. In addition, newspaper now run more adverts which include include blah blah. Let's listen it.
And they've come up with a winner. A critical tool in their sales plan has been suggesting that the adverts they run can have vouchers. This
Can have vouchers. So voucher would be the answer. VOUCHERS. Vouchers. As she was saying, a critical tool in the sales plan has been suggesting that the adverts they run can have voucher. So can have and include are expressing same thing here, okay, same meaning. That's why it would be vouchers. Okay, now let's listen in for question number 38. Okay, relationship of the papers and create more sales for blah blah. Let's listen in for question number 39.
has been enormously effective because they have found that not only do more people buy the paper to get the discounts, but also that this inevitably means much higher sales for the clients who advertised.
For the client, so client would be answer. Let me put it. CLIENTS for the clients. Okay, let's listen in for the question number 40 and the last one. There are also an increasing number of more expensive blah blah adverts. Let's listen it.
As well as doing this, the newspapers have also introduced aggressive sales campaigns over the last few years. This has resulted in a significant and continuing rise in the number of advertisers prepared to pay the extra for full-page ads.
For full page ads. So let me put it full full page ads. So ad and adverts are the same thing. Okay, I hope you got you understand each answer. Okay, so now I'm going to submit it, and before going to submit it I need to recollect each answer from the beginning one more time, because we was out of time at the middle of our practice. Okay, then I will submit it to show you how much we obtained in this lesson. Okay, it was Z. I should select Z. It was F. I should select F again. It was C. I should select C again. It was B. I should select B again. It was A. I should select A again. Okay, so it was B. I should select B again. It was A. I should select A again. It was C. Should select C again. It was F. I should select F again. It was D. I should select D again. So I'm almost what? Question number 20. Before, what's going on with me? Then oh no. Okay, let's submit it and check how much we obtained today. Okay, we got 8.5 out of 9, but we are correct 38 times, but we are incorrect for 2. So let's see them, which 2 answers we got. We made a mistake. Okay, let me find out them. Okay, this one would be option E, but we select option F. Sorry. Okay, this one would be profit. Okay, I got a spelling mistake here. It should be O, not I. Profit. More than. Okay, I hope you got it. So I think we should be more clear when we are typing and selecting each option. Okay, so then I hope it would be few chance to get to lose the mark. Okay, so that's all about today's lesson. I hope you are enjoying this session, and I'm going to say bye and see you in the next class. Bye.